an influential CEO, a targeted attack in the heart of Manhattan, and a trail of corporate secrets that could hold the key to his tragic death. This is the story of Brian Thompson, an executive at the pinnacle of power, whose life ended in a hail of gunfire on a chilly December evening. But was this a random act of violence or the calculated result of the enemies he made at the helm of America's largest health insurer? Today, on True Crime Files, we uncover the shocking details of the investigation, the threats he faced, and the controversies that may have cost him his life. Was it the weight of insider trading allegations, the anger of those denied healthcare coverage, or something far more sinister? But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to True Crime Files. We bring you gripping stories, deep dives into unsolved mysteries, and the facts behind today's most shocking crimes. Click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, let's go back to that fateful night. Brian Thompson was walking through Manhattan when a single shot rang out. The killer disappeared into the shadows of Central Park, leaving behind a shattered family and a community demanding answers. What followed was a series of revelations that painted a complex picture of power, greed, and betrayal. Let's unravel the mystery together. Manhattan, the city that never sleeps, bustling with life, ambition, and stories. But on a cold December evening, the city became the backdrop for a chilling murder that sent shockwaves through corporate America. The victim? Brian Thompson, a 49-year-old father of two and the CEO of UnitedHealth, the largest private health insurer in the United States. A man of power and influence, brought down in an instant by a single, fatal gunshot. On the surface, it seemed like a targeted attack, but as investigators dug deeper, a complex web of corporate scandal, legal battles, and alleged threats began to unravel. Who wanted Brian Thompson dead? And why? Was it linked to his controversial position at the top of the healthcare industry? Or was it something far more personal? Today, we're piecing together the events leading up to Thompson's untimely death. We'll explore the threats he reportedly received, the insider trading allegations that dogged him in his final months, and the rivals who may have had something to gain from his demise. But before we dive into this gripping case, take a moment to like this video and hit that subscribe button. Here on True Crime Files, we bring you the stories behind the headlines, unsolved mysteries, high-stakes drama, and the human stories hidden in plain sight. Click the bell icon to stay updated because you won't want to miss what we uncover next. Now, let's set the stage. Brian Thompson had everything many dream of: power, wealth, and a seat at the table of corporate America. A graduate of the University of Iowa, he climbed the ladder at UnitedHealth for nearly 2 decades, finally becoming CEO in 2021. His company handled billions of dollars in healthcare, affecting millions of lives across the country. But with great power comes great scrutiny. In recent years, Thompson faced mounting pressure, not just from his role, but from accusations that could tarnish his legacy. A class action lawsuit claimed that Thompson and other executives sold millions in stock while hiding a Department of Justice investigation into UnitedHealth's business practices. Was this an act of greed or merely a misstep under immense pressure? UnitedHealth itself was under the microscope for alleged monopolistic practices, with federal investigators questioning whether its massive acquisitions stifled competition. Thompson's position at the helm of such a polarizing company made him a lightning rod for criticism, both inside and outside the boardroom. And then there were the threats. According to his widow, Paulette Thompson, Brian had recently confided about receiving ominous messages. While she couldn't confirm the details, she believed they were tied to disputes over medical coverage, a stark reminder of how personal the decisions made at the corporate level can become for those affected. On that fateful evening, Thompson was walking near Central Park, just blocks from his hotel. The city was alive with its usual energy, but for Thompson, it was his final walk. An assailant approached him from behind, fired a single shot, and disappeared into the shadows of the park. Police are now combing through surveillance footage, including a crucial image captured at a nearby Starbucks. It shows a masked figure, partially obscured, but enough for investigators to use facial recognition software. Was this the face of Thompson's killer, or just another shadow in a city full of strangers? As his family mourns, the questions mount. Was this murder a result of his high-profile legal battles, an act of revenge over healthcare decisions, or something more personal? Investigators remain tight-lipped, but every thread seems to lead to a deeper conspiracy. Stay with us as we delve into the theories surrounding Brian Thompson's death. Was this a random act of violence, or the culmination of years spent navigating the treacherous waters of corporate healthcare? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your insight might just shed light on this perplexing case. And don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on this story and more compelling cases. This is True Crime Files, uncovering the truth, one story at a time. Brian Thompson's story begins like so many American success stories. A young man from Iowa, armed with ambition, determination, and a degree in business administration. His rise through the corporate ranks was meteoric, earning him a reputation as a driven leader and ultimately the CEO of UnitedHealth. But the same qualities that propelled him to the top also placed him squarely in the crosshairs of controversy and perhaps danger. By 2021, Thompson was at the helm of the largest private health insurer in the United States. His leadership coincided with a period of extraordinary growth for UnitedHealth. The company saw billions in revenue, its footprint expanded with major acquisitions, and its stock price soared. But this rapid ascent came with a price. UnitedHealth's aggressive expansion strategy raised red flags. Over a decade, the company acquired more than 35 healthcare organizations, sparking concerns about its market dominance. Federal investigators began probing whether these acquisitions violated antitrust laws, potentially limiting competition and increasing healthcare costs for millions of Americans. Thompson himself became entangled in legal drama. In May 2024, a pension fund filed a class action lawsuit against him and other executives, accusing them of insider trading. The allegations that Thompson had sold $15 million worth of stock while concealing the Justice Department's ongoing investigation into UnitedHealth. For a man of Thompson's stature, the stakes could not have been higher. Meanwhile, a shadowy threat loomed in his personal life. According to his widow, Paulette Thompson, Brian had mentioned receiving ominous messages, threats, she believed, tied to disputes over medical coverage. These were vague but unsettling hints of the hostility he faced as the CEO of a company making decisions that impacted millions of lives. December 4, 2024. Thompson was in Manhattan on a business trip, staying just a short walk from Central Park. That evening, he decided to take a walk, whether for fresh air or reflection, we may never know. Witnesses reported hearing a single gunshot ring out, followed by the sound of hurried footsteps disappearing into the park's darkness. When officers arrived, they found Thompson lying face down, a gunshot wound in his back. The killer, still at large, Surveillance footage captured what may be the suspect just minutes before the shooting. Masked, hooded, and nondescript, this individual remains a focus of the investigation. Police are employing facial recognition technology, but so far, the identity of the person in the image remains a mystery. Thompson's death shocked his family, colleagues, and the business world. UnitedHealth released a statement expressing their grief and cooperation with law enforcement. His sister-in-law called him a loving father and husband, a sentiment echoed by those who knew him personally. But even in mourning, questions lingered. Theories about the motive behind Thompson's murder abound. Some point to his role at the epicenter of controversial healthcare decisions. UnitedHealth had long been criticized for practices that many viewed as prioritizing profits over patients. Denials of coverage, increased premiums, and acquisitions that threatened smaller providers all contributed to public outrage. Could a disgruntled patient or their family have sought revenge? Others suggest a more calculated motive. The insider trading lawsuit, if proven, could have devastated Thompson's career. Was this murder tied to those allegations? Perhaps someone within the corporate or financial world felt threatened by the potential fallout. Law enforcement remains tight-lipped, but insiders suggest that the investigation is far from straightforward. The lack of an immediate arrest or clear motive complicates the case, leading to rampant speculation. Was this a crime of passion, a calculated hit, or something more complex? In death, Brian Thompson leaves behind a legacy of both accomplishment and controversy. To his family, he was a loving husband and father. To his colleagues, a respected leader. And to the world, a symbol of the tension between power, responsibility, and the human cost of corporate decisions. As we await answers, one thing is certain. Brian Thompson's murder is more than just a crime story. It's a window into the high-stakes world of corporate America, a world where success and scandal often walk hand in hand, and where the decisions made in boardrooms can echo far beyond their walls. What do you think? Was Brian Thompson's murder an act of revenge, a calculated business move, or something else entirely? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to True Crime Files for updates on this case and many more. Hit the bell icon so you're the first to know when we uncover new evidence. Together, let's search for the truth. Brian Thompson's murder leaves us with more questions than answers. Who was the masked figure captured in the Starbucks footage? Were the threats he received truly tied to his work, or was there another hidden aspect of his life that played a role? And perhaps the most haunting question of all, will his killer ever be brought to justice? As we've uncovered today, this case is as complex as it is tragic. What do you think? Could this be an act of revenge by someone personally affected by UnitedHealth's policies? Or do you believe the motive lies in the corporate world, a calculated crime tied to insider trading or legal battles? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your theories might just spark new conversations around this case. And what about his family? They're now left to navigate life without a husband, father, and brother. How do you think the justice system can support families in cases like these? Share your perspectives. Your voice matters. This case isn't just a story of one man's murder. It's a glimpse into the pressures of high-stakes corporate life and the human cost of power. Cases like this remind us of the fragile balance between success and security. What lessons can we learn from this tragedy? Should companies be held more accountable for their impact on employees, clients, and the public? If you found this story compelling, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to True Crime Files. We're dedicated to exploring cases like this, stories that challenge us to think critically about the world around us. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you'll be the first to know when we uncover new evidence or update this case. Thank you for joining us today. Together, we can bring attention to cases like Brian Thompson's and keep the search for truth alive. This is True Crime Files, signing off. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and never stop asking questions.